Uh, so yesterday we were discussing about K-maps, how we can represent truth table in K-maps. So there were a few questions. I don't know. Maybe some of you had a doubt regarding how to represent a truth table in K-map, or how to get from K-map truth table back, or how to get sum of products from truth table, or how to get product of sums from K-maps, etc., etc. So we will see two more examples today to make sure that we understand the relation between truth table, K-map, and SOP or POS. SOP means sum of products. We'll begin with this table. This, I think, was discussed yesterday as well, but we will repeat the same. So this is suppose the truth table for which we have to construct a K-map. Okay. So if you see this table, what will be the sum of products form for this? This is going to be the sum of products. This is rather canonical form of sum of products. This is canonical form of SOP. I think we have done this earlier as well. So basically what we have to do is we have to take the truth table and locate all the ones. This is output, okay? So in output, we have to locate all the ones. So this is the first one. So what will be the situation here? A is 0. So instead of A, we will write down A bar to make sure that it is 1. Similarly for B, we will write B bar. So sum of products means we will be writing all the AND expressions which are appearing here. So what will that be? A bar, B bar, C, because C already is 1. So we won't take C bar. So Y will be A bar, B bar, C, or where is the second one appearing? This is here. What would that mean? A bar, B, C, right? That's what it is. Then there is one more one sitting here. This one, there will be one term for this, which is A, B bar, C bar. And there is last term, which refers to A, B, C. So that's how to write down what we can call a sum of products from a truth table. Is that clear how to get sum of products from truth table? Or is there any doubt? Okay. Now question is, okay, how to write down truth table for the same? So I hope this is, we know that, sorry, how to write down K-map from truth table. So this is the K-map where all the terms appear. This is for min term, isn't it? This is K-map in terms of min terms. So what is min term? Where is so we have to locate all the positions in this K-map where these terms are appearing and place at those respective places 1, 1, 1. That's it. So where is A bar, B bar, C sitting? A bar, B bar, C is sitting here, right? So there will be a 1 here. You have to place a 1 here. Similarly, A bar, B, C bar. A bar, B, C bar. So you will place a 1 here. A, B bar, C bar. A, B bar, C bar sitting here, 1 here. A, B, C here. So you will place 1 here. Every other place will be written 0. At every other place will be written 0. So that's what is the K-map for this particular truth table. So we have written 1, 1, 1 for A bar, B bar, C, this one. These 1, 2, 3, 4 are representing min terms like M0, M1, M2, M3. I hope you are familiar with this. So the K-map for this will be 1 sitting for this one. There is another term here sitting, which is A bar, B, C. Then there is another term A, B bar, C bar, which is sitting here. This one. And then there is another term ABC. So that's it. Okay. The same thing we can do using max terms. So this is the max term for this. I hope you know the complementary theorem, isn't it? So you can locate what is this is nothing but, is it written here? No, I have not written it. Okay. You can write it in your notebook. That's okay. What is this term? A bar BC. A bar B bar C is nothing but small m1. Isn't it? That is this one. Small m1 because this is at first position. Then what is A bar, B, C bar? This is M2. This is 2, M2. Then what about this A, B bar, C bar? This is M4. A, B bar, C bar is 4, M4. So M1 plus M2 plus M4, I think, and last one is M7. So this is M7. Small in terms of min term. So Y is equal to M1 plus M2 plus M4 plus M7. So what will be the same in terms of max terms? So Y will be equal to pi, means product, of remaining ones, M naught. And if you see the table, what is M naught? This one. Similarly, you can see all those. We have done complementary theorem yesterday. So if you have to construct the what you call K map using max terms, so you take all these terms. This is capital M naught into this is capital M A or B bar or C bar. A or B bar or C bar, this one, okay? So there, at all the max terms, we will be placing zeros, 0, 0, 0, 0. And at all other places, we will place 1. So both way, either you begin from sum of products or you begin from product of sums, both way the K map will be exactly the same. I hope it should be clear, but still, if there is any question, please do ask. Or if you have any confusion, please let me know. Anyone have any doubt over this? Okay, very good. So that's one example. I hope I have kept one more. Yeah. This is second example now, where again I have given you the truth table. Now I give it to you. Okay, you do it yourself in your notebooks. Then I'll show you the answer later on. You use this truth table and write down sum of products. Then you from this write down K map. Also write down product of sums and write down K map from the same. Both ways K map is going to be same. Yes, I am giving this as an quick homework. I mean, you just do it right now, and then let me know what you get. Then I'll show the responses on the screen, answers on the screen, so you can compare it. Yes, go ahead, please. Once you are done, you type in the chat box. I'm following the chat box. Yes, anyone got? Yeah, Jyotish says she got it. Okay, what about others? Waiting for some few others to respond. Okay, Pallavi also got it. Very good. Very good. So, I mean, I assume that most of you are able to do this. Rather, it's very simple. So, how to do that? Just again, just a quick help to you. I mean, if you have not been able to do, or if you have done, you can cross check. We have to locate the terms here where all ones are sitting. So this is 1, y is equal to 1. Output. So a bar, b bar, c bar, d bar. There will be one term corresponding to a bar, b bar. So one sitting here. There is another one here which will be a bar, b, c bar, d. So what will be y? Y equal to a bar, b bar, c bar, d bar, or a bar, b, c bar, d, or a bar, b, c, d, or this one, of course. So a, b bar, c bar, d, and this one also a, b, c bar, d bar, a, b, c, d bar, right? A, b, c, d, correct? So what will be the K map? K map will be the various terms. I mean, you can see from this as well. This is like a binary counting for a 4 bit number. So this is 0, this is 00011, 0010, 2, 00113, 01004, and so on. So what all terms are sitting? It will be like, okay, M0 in terms of min term. M1, what it is? M5 plus M7 plus M9 plus M12 plus M14 and M15, right? So you can locate here in this table where all we have to put 1. So this will be M0, then there will be M5, M7. Here we have to place 1, then M12, 15, 14, and 14 and 15. That's it. Okay. 9. Of course, M9 also is sitting here. So that's it. So that's how you can construct K map. Every other cell will be 0. And what will be the sum of products for the same? Now, I already told you in the beginning, that's going to be the sum of products. Is this what everyone has got, or anyone has got a different answer? Be honest. I mean, if you have got a different answer, you just let me know. We can discuss if there is something wrong. Or if everybody has got the same answer, just let me know that it is okay and everybody is fine with this. Yes. Is this the answer which everyone has got? Pranjal has got same. Sonali, Nishant, everyone. Anyone with different answer? No? Well, fine. Very good. So this we can write down like this as well. I hope you remember this notation. This means M0 plus M5 plus M7 plus M9 and so on. That's it. Similarly, if you have to write down product of sum. So product of sum, now according to that complementary theorem, M0 is there in min term, so it won't be there in max term. So what will be there in max term? M1, 2, 3, and 4 are not here in min term part, means SOP. So they will be in POS, product of sum. 2, 3, 4 are sitting here. 5 is sitting here, so not it won't. So 6, 7 is here, so it won't come here. 8 is not there, so 8 came here. 9 is here, so it won't be there at this point. Then 10, 11 is not present in min term or SOP, so it will be in POS, 10, 11, and 13. So that's how we can write down. So what will be the corresponding POS, what you call product of sums. So accordingly, you can write down what will be the product of sum. Is this clear how to write down K-map and how to write down sum of product or product of sum for any truth table? Or if there is any question, please let me know so that I can help you, or I will proceed further. Okay, it seems okay to few, maybe most of you. Okay. Well, so also now sign your attendance. Now we will be seeing application of these K-maps. Rather, I mean how these K-maps can help us simplifying Boolean logic function. Means as of now we are seeing canonical form. Canonical form is good rather and very simple to write down from K-map or even from truth table. That's why canonical form we have done, and it was of special significance. So that was the significance that okay, we can write down all the terms very easily from truth table in canonical form. Now, how to simplify? So now, first thing is that okay. I mean, the question is that okay, if you have been given product of sum or sum of product form of any truth table or any Boolean expression, then how can we simplify that? Because ultimate goal in circuit design is to use minimum number of components in the circuit. Correct? That was our very first objective. So now question is how to get that done. So basically, first what you do is we construct truth table or SOP or POS, whatever, and then put that data into K-map, okay, Kernel map. And then in K-map, we do some simplification. And what is the process of simplification? That process involves grouping of minterms and identify prime implicants and essential prime implicants. Now you will ask, okay, what is prime implicant? What is essential prime implicant? So here is a prime implicant basically. Prime implicant is group of minterms. Minterms means group of ones sitting in the truth table in K-map. So I mean all the ones sitting in the K-map are important. So a prime implicant actually is a group of minterms that cannot combine with any other minterm or group. Now, again, you will ask what is the meaning of combining them with each other. So this is going to be clear in next few slides, 2-3 slides. That grouping task, but okay, we have to locate a prime implicant. And an essential prime implicant is a prime implicant in which one or more minterms are unique. That is, it contains at least one minterm which is not contained in any prime implicant. So essential prime implicant means, okay, let's do example, then things will be more clear. Again, let me show you. So, but basically what we do in K-map, we try to locate for ones which are neighbor of each other. Okay. For example, let us see this table, and I will explain what is the meaning of this table. Let's look for K-map for a two-variable system. So this is how the K-map for a two-variable system is going to look like. Okay. So grouping two adjacent ones, that's what is the meaning here. Means if you take 0, this is 0, M0, let us say something like M0. What are the adjacent ones? If this is 1, which all ones can be looked to combine with this one? So this is given in this table. So this table tells which ones can be combined with this. So if you are at 0 cell, that is 0 cell in this table, then this 0 has neighbors. Which one? 1, this one, 0, 1. Don't confuse with these ones. These are just input values, right? So corresponding to this 0, the neighbor is this one. So we can combine 1 sitting in this cell with this one. It can be combined with this one as well. This is the neighbor, but this is not considered to be neighbor. So if there is a 1 here, there is a 1 here, we can't combine them to form a pair. So this can be combined either vertically or diagonally. That's the main thing. I mean, we can combine them with vertically or diagonally. Okay. Similarly, if you take 1, this is 1. So it can be combined with 0, 1, 0. That's a vertical combination. It can be combined with 3. Okay. 1, 3. So 0 and 3 are the neighbors of this. That's what it means. Similarly, if you take 2, 2 is a neighbor of 0 as well as 3, not of 1, and so on. So if you take 3, 3 is a neighbor of 1 and 2. That way. Diagonal combinations are not allowed. Now, what will these combinations do? I will be demonstrating it in the next slide. But okay. So now, let us see the same thing for 3-variable thing. So this is a K-map for a 3-variable system. Again, if you take 0, 0 is a neighbor of what? You forget these 0, 1. I actually did a copy paste, so sorry for that. Let us forget these values 0, 1, 1, 0, all that. You follow these 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, the min term notations. So this 0 can be combined with what? 1. So this side, that is a vertical pair. This is called pair. Grouping two adjacent one. 2 means pair. So we are looking for possible pairs if they are available. Then 0 can be combined with 2 as well. That is another pair. 0 can also be combined with 4. So this is also actually a neighbor of this, because these are at the extreme ends. So this is a neighbor of this as well. So if there is a 1 here, there is a 1 here, so there can be a pair. What is the meaning of those pairs? How do they lead to simplification is going to be shortly clear. Similarly, a pair is possible for this 5 and 1. 5 and 1. So if you go to 1, so for 1, 0, 3, these are clear cut. So 1, 0, 1, 3. There is one pair here, one pair possible here. And 5 also. Means this can combine with this as well. Similarly, you can see this for a 4 variable case. So what it demonstrates is that how can we locate pair? So you can combine 4, 5, you can combine 5, 7, 5, 13, 4, 12. So vertical and horizontal pairs are allowed only. That's what is important here. Diagonally, you can't combine. 5 with 15 not allowed. 13 with 7 not allowed. 13 with 9 is allowed. 13 with 5 is allowed. 13 with 1 is also not allowed, because that's not a nearest neighbor. It goes way away here. But 1 with 9 is allowed, because 9 here, 1 here. So both are neighbors to each other. You can see it that way. 3 can combine with 11. 8 can combine with 10. 8 can combine with 9, but not with 11. Okay? 9 can combine with 11, and so on. Is this okay? How to look for combinations? I mean, any question? Although this will be clear in coming examples, but still, what I talked, did it make sense to you? Well, very good. So let's do one example. Let's discuss the example, then things will be clear. So I'm showing a truth table here to you. Okay. So this is, sorry, not truth table, but K-map. This is some K-map. So in K-map, if 1 is not written in any cell, that means there is a 0 sitting there. Sometimes we can get rid of that. So what all kind of pairs are possible for this K-map? One pair is this one. So if there are two adjacent ones, means we can form them to get a pair. Now one is sitting here, one is sitting here. So this way we can't combine them, but of course, because they are to the extreme ends of the table, so this will also constitute a pair. Fine, that's what is called grouping the adjacent ones, or pairs rather. We are only looking for two ones, pairs. Now you will ask, what is the benefit of doing this? Why we are doing this, by the way? So benefit lies here. If you look the sum of product form for this K-map, then what that will be? Okay, for you, I think I have I shown it here? Yeah, you can follow here. I think this is for this table or not? No, forget these 0, 1. This is not K. These two are different K-maps. But what I have, why I have brought it here? I brought it here so that you could see what terms are there. So A bar, B bar, C bar. A bar, B bar, C bar means there is a 1 here. So this represents. So okay, I mean we don't need even this table. From here we can write down. If there is a 0, 0 here, that means A bar, B bar. If there is a 0, means this is the variable, this is variable, this is variable. So what is the meaning? Wherever this is a C column, this is AB row. This is a AB portion, this is C portion. So C portion is 0 means it is representing C complement. And what is this representing is C. If there is a 1, that is called C, or a variable as such. If there is 0, means complement of the variable. So this is A complement B complement. This is representing A complement B, means because first one is 0, second one is 1. So this is A complement B. This is AB. This is A B complement. I hope it is clear. Now, what will be the terms? You don't need to, recall that table every time. So, that previous one where we had written all the min terms in the table. We don't need to call this table again and again. Don't worry. It can be seen from here as well. So this is like, okay, A complement, B complement, C complement, D complement. So in this cell will be A complement, B complement, C complement, D. That's what it is. Okay. So this is A complement, B complement. This cell will be A complement, B complement, C complement, D. They are in this order. C complement, D. That's what it is here. Similarly, you can say, okay, this is A complement, B complement, CD. So that's what it is. A complement, B complement, CD. That's how to recall. We can recall that quickly. What all terms are there? First is here A complement, B complement, C complement. There is a one here. So this term corresponds to this one. There is another one, A complement, BC. A complement, this is A complement, right? This is B, this is C. So this one leads to this term. Okay. There is another one here, which is corresponding to A, B, C, and then A, B complement, C complement. So this is A, B complement, C complement. So this is A, B, C complement. That's how we can write down sum of products from K-map. Is this clear? Or any question? Are you getting how to read variables and their complements and how to write down SOP from K-map? Is this clear? Anyone having any question, please feel free to ask. Okay, fine, very good. Now the question is, we were wanting to ask that, okay, why we did make those pairs? Why we made these pairs? That's what is the question now. Or what is the advantage of using these pairs? Right. So let us try to see this. Now here, in this expression, what we can do is, we can use those theorems of Boolean algebra. And what you will be able to see is that here you have B complement, C complement in complement, C complement. So we can take B complement, C complement common. What you will be left inside is A complement or A, that it is. Or in these two terms, you will realize BC is common. Again, in bracket, you will find out A complement or A, isn't it? So A complement or A is equal to 1. I hope you remember that theorem. A complement or A is 1. Same is the case here. So what will Y be? That will become equal to B complement C complement or B C. Very simple. So now this is the thing we are doing by applying Boolean algebra. Now again the question remains same. Why we made these pairs? Why we made these pairs? So now let us pay attention to this pair. What does this pair do? This pair is doing, or what this pair says is that, okay, what happens here? When we go from this cell to this cell, which variable change? Now you need to pay attention. Right here, what it was A complement B, and what is this is A, B. So what is changing while I go from here to here? A is changing, isn't it? A changes from A complement to A. What is the meaning of this information is that whether I change A from A to A complement, there is no change in output, isn't it? Even if A changes from A to A complement, there are only two values any variable can assume, either 0 or 1. So whatever is the change in A, there is no change in output. Means keeping A doesn't make sense. Even if we keep, that won't do anything new. So this means, what will this pair give us? A, otherwise what it was? This one was giving us A complement BC. This term was giving us ABC, right? So now we can get rid of that and only keep which term? A and A complement. Both are removed because whether it is A or A complement is immaterial with respect to this pair. So what we will keep in SOP means sum of products. We will keep B into C. So one term will be BC. So this pair gives you one term called BC. Otherwise, we should have three literals. In canonical form, we have three literals in each term. But if you are able to make a pair, one of the literal will reduce. So you will only have two literals for a 3-variable case. If you have a 4-variable K-map, then you will be having three literals only for a pair. So that's the interesting thing, that this pair will lead you to what? This pair will lead you to a term called BC. BC. Is this clear? I mean, could you make some meaning out of what I said? Or could you understand the logic or not? Okay, now let us look at another pair. This is another pair. 1, 1, correct? Here, which variable is changing? Now I ask you, you will tell me, which variable is changing? Here, what you will realize is out of 3 variables, 2 are going to remain same. Only one variable will change whenever you are able to get a pair. So you have to identify that variable which changes, and we have to remove that from the product. That's all. So which variable changes here? A? Oh, come on. Is it A? A is changing in this case. Come on. Here, this was A complement B. And what is this is AB. Okay, just give me small time. Let me do the changes in PowerPoint presentation so that things are visible to you properly. I think you are not able to get things. Okay, just a moment. For complement, I will be writing a dash. Okay, so because I can't write A bar, so I would write, this is A dash, B dash. This term is A dash, B dash. I hope it is appearing there. And this term is nothing but A dash B. And this term is nothing but AB. That's also the way to write down. I mean, we also do that. And this is what? AB complement or AB dash. Let me write down dash for this. Okay. And what is this one? Is nothing but, what is this? C dash. This is C complement. Okay. Because this is 0. And what is this is? Nothing but C. Now is it okay? Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's it. I mean, now is it okay? Now you see. Here you notice that A is changing from A dash to A. But here, what is changing? Again, A is changing. Fine, got it. You are correct. I'm sorry. So A is changing from A dash to A. Interesting. Okay. C dash is remaining same, and B dash is also remaining same, right? So what will this pair lead us to? This pair lead us to B dash, C dash, this term. So that is why this pair gives us BC, this pair gives us B dash, C dash. So the simplified expression for this SOP, which is a canonical form, the simplified one will be B dash C dash or B complement C complement or BC. Okay, so that's what is the importance of making pairs. So if you are able to locate certain pairs, then you can simplify the terms. Now you may ask, okay, what if I can't make pair? I have not shown it here. Suppose this was not a pair. there was only one pair, suppose this, which will give you B bar, C bar. Here, this was 0, suppose this is only there, only 1. So this is also called prime implicant. That's what we call the prime implicant. Okay. And essential prime implicant means there is a one which doesn't combine with anything. Okay. And if there is a one which can combine with the any neighboring one, that set is called prime implicant. Essential prime implicant is just one sitting, nothing else. So if there is one here, okay. I mean, if there would have been only this one, this would have been 0. In that case, it would have been what? A, B, C. The same way, it would have been A, B, C. So the whole K map should have led to B bar, C bar, one pair. If this were not a pair, this was a 0 here, then this would have been A, B bar, C bar, or A, B, C. Or if these are the pairs present and there is additional one as well. Suppose there is where to put the one. Unfortunately, if I put one anywhere, in this case, there will be additional pair. Okay, let me give you one example. I mean, okay, let's do it this way. Suppose there is a one sitting here. Now, what do you think? Now, what do you think? What will be the truth table? Sorry, what will be the Boolean expression? Now, here you will realize that this one also can make a pair with this, right? This can make a pair with this as well. So both way, then you will ask, what will be the case there? So these terms are already going to be there. Y is equal to B bar, C bar, BC. These pairs are already there, so they will give the term. There will be some additional terms because of this guy, isn't it? So there may be one way of writing it that, okay, this is like B bar, C bar or BC. And then what will this give you? A, B dash, C. But that is a term containing 3 literals. A, B dash and C. Literal means then this term, if I keep it as such in the this expression, then that will require a 3 input AND gate. So in case we can simplify, we will prefer so that we can get the job done with something like a 2 input AND gate. If there is no option, we have to keep it. So, okay, its pair we can make this way. So in that case, this one will be shared with this pair as well as with this pair, no problem. So what will that term be? There will be one additional term, which will give us, what will that term give us? There will be a pair here. Let me show it. Okay, let me draw something here to illustrate it properly. Maybe this way. No fill. Line color is red, maybe. Isn't it? We can make. What happened? I changed it, but it's not getting reflected. Okay, now probably. Oh, what happened? Just a minute. Huh? I mean, there will be a pair sitting here. It's not, the changes are not reflected. Very strange. Okay, hold on. Where is that PPT slideshow? Okay, just a minute. Give me 1 second. And this one. Now let me present the screen again. Window, slideshow coming to you. Here it is. So what is the second way of making pair? This one. So what will be the additional term in that case? This will give us, okay, you tell me, what term will this give? AC. Pranjal says it will be AC. What about others? Because B changes here, B to B complement. So B will disappear. What will this give us? AC. So what will this, what will be the Y in that case? Y will be equal to B bar C bar or BC or AC. The same can be done equally well by making a pair of this one with the what you call with this one. This means, okay, just let me we can make pair with this one as well. So in that case, what will that give us? Again, what will be the additional term in that case? Yes, expecting your answer. A, B complement. You can check. So this will be A, B complement, because C, even if it changes from C dash to C, nothing changes. So there are two equivalent ways of writing. I mean, there are two equivalent ways of writing this. You can write down Y is equal to B complement, C complement, or BC or AC. Or same way, we can write down the same expression with Y is equal to B complement, C complement, or BC or A, B complement. That's another way of writing it. So both will be equivalent. But yes, you have to make sure that you don't leave any one. If you are not getting, if you have some one sitting somewhere and that is not making a pair at all, then you have to write down the term corresponding to that also. So if there would have been some, say for example, this one would have been 0, then this one should not have formed any pair, even if this were absent. Then you have to incorporate, means you have to make sure that you write down every one sitting in the K map. Either you try to incorporate it in some pairs, or if it is not able to make pair, then you write down what will be the product term corresponding to that one completely with all the literals. I hope that is clear. What we have to do is, I mean, that's the procedure I illustrated with you. Identify adjacent ones, then see values of the variables associated with these cells. Only one variable will be different and it gets eliminated. So the variable which is actually changing, so in this pair, A is changing, so it will be eliminated. That's what we did. That's why this term gave you BC, right? So this term also gave you, this pair gave you what this gave you, B bar C bar, okay, yeah, B bar C bar, and so on. So that's what it means. Other variables will appear in ANDed form in terms of in the term, and it will be in the uncomplemented form. I mean, that I already told. What is this has been explained. In case of you have to write down. So once you are in a position to write down SOP, then you can also write down POS as well. Determine the term corresponding to each group adjacent to ones. I mean, that's it. So we will OR those terms and simplify to get this. So we have to try all the possible pairs sitting in the K-map. That's what is the main message of this. I have not put any example other today, but okay. Maybe tomorrow I will be, or in next class, I will be giving you some more examples to locate pairs. But today I'll quickly demonstrate. Okay, so here is that thing. I mean, here B complement, C complement, and BC are called prime implicants. So this is a prime implicant. This is also a prime implicant. Means we can't simplify beyond this. Okay, since grouping of two min terms M0 and M4 cannot be done further. So I hope this is M0. This is M4. So M4 and M0. They have already been combined, but there is no further possibility. Let us delete this one so that we don't confuse ourselves. Now this part is done, so I'm removing this and this one as well to avoid confusion, because the discussion is actually with respect to this table. Okay, so means M4 and M1, we can't make any other pair beyond this. This kind of diagonal pairs are not allowed. Make sure. this doesn't, this won't work. Similarly, M3, M7 is another prime implicant. That's what it means. Similarly, grouping M3 and M7 is also a prime implicant. That also I told you. We also observe that both the groups are also essential prime implicants, since each one of them contains unique min term which are not contained in other group. Okay, essential prime implicant means this is essential prime implicant. So this one is included only in this pair, and this one is included only in this pair. But that the case which I removed, if there were a one here, then this pair wouldn't be an essential prime implicant, because this one is sitting in this pair as well as in this pair. So those are not essential prime implicant. Okay, so the meaning of prime implicant and essential prime implicant, I hope it should be clear. Huh? Is there any question related to essential prime implicant and prime implicant, or it is okay? Is everything okay till now? Or any question from prime implicant, essential prime implicant? Well, very good. Now, it's not that only pairs are important. In case you can form a group of 4 adjacent ones, that is also a great thing. Let's see it with the help of example directly. So, suppose we have a K-map here, and in this K-map, there are some pairs and some ones as well. I mean, so you can see there is 1, 1, 1, 1. There is a full row containing all ones. So we can make a group of 4. So such group of 4 are interesting. So how we can write down this? So I mean, we have written this same truth table in terms of SOP, in terms of min terms. So what is this is these 4 min terms 0, 1, 8, 9. 0, 1, 8, 9, you can see maybe 0, 1, 8, 9. This is one group. 3, 7, 15, 11. So 3, 7, 15, 11. There is another group. These are called quads because a set of 4 ones. So basically, if I try to see this one, we apply some theorems of Boolean algebra. You can do it yourself, note it, and then you will find out that this actually will lead to B bar, C bar. Means this one, we are looking at, okay, this set of ones, this and this, I think it is shown here. Okay, so this simplification is done actually for this quad, not for this. So what will this quad give us? Here you will be interesting. It will be interesting to note that whatever be the values of A, B, whether it is A complement, B complement, or A complement B, AB, or A bar B, sorry, A B bar, output remains 1, irrespective of whatever was A or B. This means AB can be eliminated. Means A and B can be eliminated from output. So what will be the outcome of this? That there will be one term in your Boolean expression which will be nothing but CD only. So one of the term will be CD. Other term which comes from these. So this is the CD term coming from this set of 4 ones, because AB, their presence is immaterial. Whatever they are, output remains same, unchanged. So similarly, there is another pair. There is another quad actually. This. So here what is happening? Here you will notice that, okay, this is C complement, this is C complement, isn't it? D is changing. So one term will be C complement, and here what is changing? This is A complement going from, I mean, it is A complement, it is A. So B. What will retain is B, because A changes, that doesn't make any change. So it will be B. So B complement, sorry, not B, but B complement. B complement and C complement. This is also 0, right? So B complement, C complement. So what is the simplified form for this K-map? Is this B complement, C complement. So that is how, if you could locate a group of 4 ones, then also we can simplify the final Boolean expression. Is this okay, or any question from this part? Is this all right? Very good. Well, in next class we will see another example. What if we have a group of 8s? Then I will be giving you some uh, K-maps to simplify and look for the simplified Boolean expressions. But since time is running today, we are already done with our time slot. So fine, that's all for today. We'll meet in the next class and discuss further simplification of the K-maps. Regarding your test, okay, let me stop recording. We don't need it now.